folks, it is Friday Night Blitz Media Days as we check in on teams getting ready for the 2023 season. And we're going to go to a Maroon Tide, as in the Galax Maroon Tide. And joining me right now, entering his fourth year as head coach of Galax, Shane Allen. And Coach Allen, thanks for being here on Friday Night Blitz Media Days.
Thank you for having us. I really appreciate it.
Well, last year, I mean, anybody would love to be in the playoffs. In fact, you guys have been in the playoffs 13 straight years, but last year, one of your earlier exits in the playoffs, just your thoughts about that, losing in the Region 1C semifinals. I mean, just your thoughts about that, because obviously you're used to going to play for a state championship, but this year, I mean, last year was a little tough.
Yeah, we didn't go as far as we wanted to, and it was, our kids were disappointed, but we knew going in that, George Wythe had a really good football team that year, and, Grayson had a really good football team, and we were kind of rebuilding back from, the previous year, and we had some guys who, that hadn't played a lot. So we knew it was going to be a year that we were going to have to really, really be hitting all cylinders, and, we got in the playoff game and just kind of took us a while to get going, and by the time we got going, it was a little too late.
Does it feel now it's more of a normal year? I mean, last year was kind of normal, but now it kind of really feels normal, considering the fact when you first started, I mean, it was during the COVID time, and now in your fourth year, does it feel like it's now kind of a normal situation?
Yeah, we're finally getting back to the way things were before COVID. So that's a big relief for us, because I think with COVID, a lot of stuff by restricting the weight room times and the amount of kids could be in there, it just kind of set us back a little bit, but. We're starting to get back into, the flow of things what it used to be.
Looking at this year, I mean, I'm looking at this year in, year out, Coach. You load up that schedule. I mean, it's a stout schedule.
It is, and Coach Dixon did it when he got there, and and so we've kind of carried on the thing, and for us, it just gets us prepared for the playoffs. I think we want to play good teams. We want to be prepared, because I feel like we play in one of the tougher single A districts in this side of the state. So. I feel like a tough schedule helps us get ready for that district play and to make a run in the playoffs.
7 of those 10 teams you're playing made the playoffs. Of course, you start a game. You'll be back up here in our area in a few weeks, opening up at Glenver, and that seemed like that's sort of developed into a nice little matchup when you guys match up every year.
Yeah, they run a really good. Coach Clifford runs a really good program, and I think they kind of mirror us a lot in the sense that we both want to be very physical football teams. We both emphasize the weight room, and being able to run the football and play good defense. So I think that's a great early matchup that kind of gives us where we're at, where we need to fix, and all those things. So I think it's a good matchup.
Yeah, I mean Graham, Carroll County, at Radford, at Auburn, George Wythe, the defending runners-up in Class 1, Richlands, Fort Chiswell, and Grayson County.
Yeah,
it's a gauntlet.
Yes, it is. We open it up with Glenver, then turn around playing Graham, the state champion from last year in 2A. So it's. I've told our guys all summer. I said, we've got to be working hard in the weight room and getting ready, because it don't get easy for us at the beginning of the season. So.
Well, Coach, with the way the season ended, do you feel like that the team is maybe more focused now, looking back, or you feel like, hey, we're still going to get rocking and rolling, going to get after things?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I think, our guys were, after the loss, that some of our guys had just kind of been used to it going that far and kind of got back, kind of just took off the gas a little bit and kind of thought it was going to always happen. So it was a good reality check for us. So I think, our guys kind of picked it up in the weight room and in the off season, and this summer they've been working really hard. So I'm hoping that, it was a good motivator, and, I talked to them about, we got to get back to where we're used to being. So.
Now, for you personally, you've seen a lot of Friday nights as a player, as an assistant, as a head coach, but what does Friday nights in the fall mean to Shane Allen?
I mean, it just means, you put all the work in, and you get to see those kids develop, and that's what for me. It's just being able to go out there and see a kid that was a freshman that you maybe didn't think was going to be very good, and he's put his time in the weight room, you've coached him up, and he gets to go out there and make plays on a Friday night. It's just that right there, the atmosphere of a small town. That's kind of what the big deal is, and especially in our area, football on Friday night. So it's just being part of the community and getting to see those kids develop from freshmen all the way up through seniors, and how they change their bodies and how they change their mentalities and their personalities and everything like that. It's good to see that.
And Coach, what do you think will be the key for your team to have the successful season you guys expect to have?
Well, we got some younger guys last year that got some playing time. So I think for us, we're going to have to really, we lost a lot of the offensive line, defensive line, so we're going to have to really, really work on that. I think, and that doesn't matter any year. It's, how well your offensive line, your defensive line progresses is going to dictate how well your season's going to be. So I feel like we've got some skilled guys back that got a lot of playing time and learning the curve last year. So we've just got to develop on the offensive line and defensive line, and if we do that, I think we can have a successful season.
So what players should we have our eyes on this year as far as your team, looking at who are the ones that could be the ones that will lead you to the promised land, as they say?
Well, we've got a couple good guys returning back. You got Ashworth, who was an all-state tight end last year and linebacker. You have Tidron Tucker, running back and linebacker, who's back. Both those guys are 4-year starters. And then you also have a good group of seniors with Bishop Whitaker and Ayden White and Caden Carrico. I mean, we've got a group of seniors that they're not very many of them, but they've stuck in there. They've worked hard. So I think those guys are ready to shine.
And finally, obviously, this doesn't get old, does it? Getting ready for another season, huh?
No, this is the time of year right now where it gets a little bit nervous. We're about 17 days away from strapping it up for the first time. So as a coach, you're really worried about some things, worried about making sure we got everything ready and everything like that. But as the closer it gets, the more excited you get. So.
And obviously, communities like Galax, the buzz. It's like another football season because, like you mentioned, this is what they live for. They live for this time of the year where, the anticipation of another high school football season.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. When you go to go in somewhere to eat or you go to the grocery store or anything like that. How's the season going to be, Coach? Those things. That's the beauty of being in a small town is they're always asking you everywhere you go. How you going to be this season? What you got coming back? How's your rivals going to be? So they're always asking me questions anytime I go somewhere.
Good deal. Well, Coach Allen, it's been a pleasure, sir. Thank you so
much.
much. Coach Shane Allen and the Galax Maroon Tide, as they get the season started coming up on August the 25th, they will be at Glenver in another opening season matchup between Glenver and Galax as we put a wrap on this part of Friday Night Blitz Media Days as we get you ready for the 2023 season.
Just how do you feel going into your senior year, your last one?
It's makes me kind of nervous, but I'm excited for it, and I think we have a really good team this year, and I think we can go far in the playoffs.
Where do you think the nerves come from?
I don't know, just
It's been your final year.
Yeah, just the final year.
How do you feel like you've grown as a football player over the last 3 years?
Over the last 3 years, I think I've grown as a football player, just playing with a bunch of leaders on the team, and of course Coach Allen. He's a great coach, good leader, good teacher.
Yeah, definitely a couple ways we can go from there. Let's talk about last year. You guys, 10-win season, I feel like a lot of teams would kill for 10 wins, but I know the way it ended wasn't the way you guys wanted to, right? What do you take away from last year?
So last year, I think we had a pretty good year. We still kind of have that bad taste in our mouth from last year. Everybody kind of uses that as motivation for this year.
What'd you guys lose to?
Oh, we lost to Grayson County last year, second round.
What do you remember from that game?
Some missed tackles, some, blown coverages. Those things happen, but you can't let them happen too much, and those things just kind of happen. We had a bad game,
But
yeah.
Like you said, it's leading to some motivation going into this season. Let's talk about the off season. What have you been focusing on? What have you been thinking about going into this year?
Well, I've just been trying to stay in the weight room and keeping the team in the weight room. Just focus on strategy stuff before we put the pads on. And yeah, that's a big part of the off season.
What's the weight room culture been like?
We try to keep it high energy. Get after it. Stay on each other in the weight room the whole time.
Do you feel like with the amount of participation throughout the team in the weight room, do you feel like you guys are bigger, stronger going into this year?
Yeah, I think everybody improves in the weight room a lot every single year, and we just try to improve in the weight room so it correlates onto the field.
Camp's going to start in a couple weeks. Obviously, you want to improve on everything, but what's some of the things you really want to focus on and hone in on?
O-linemen, getting down the steps and stuff. Wide receivers working on steps. Making sure everybody understands the playbook, understands the ins and outs of the playbook.
You as a football player, how did you fall in love with the sport?
Well, I've been playing the sport since I think I was 5 or 6 years old. It's been a long time. It's just stepping onto the field. It just feels different. It's just something that I love about it. Just the physicality.
Yeah, I mean, what is it that's kind of kept you coming back?
Well, I have an older brother that played football. Just me and him, we always played football together, and he just graduated a few years ago. And, you know, I just love the sport so much.
Yeah, how did you, what was your brother's name again?
Ian Ashworth.
Yeah, I don't know. Back to now. What'd you learn from him? How has he been kind of like a mentor for you?
Well, you know, he's one of those guys that just never gives up. You know, never quits. He's just an amazing football player, and he taught me basically a lot of things I know.
What's he up to now?
He's at Ferrum College.
Nice, cool. Is he playing there, or is he just?
Yeah, he's playing.
So do you get to go to some of his games a lot?
Yeah, I go to most of his games.
What's that like?
You know, the atmosphere is, you know, it's different than high school, but you know, I think I like the atmosphere at the Ferrum games.
Is it safe to say he played a role in like the football player you are today?
Yeah, for sure.
Like how so? Like you touched upon it a little bit already.
Yeah, you know, we just go out in the backyard and throw football, you know. And we played Little League together all the way up to high school.
Gotcha. So you're now going into your senior year. With that comes a lot of emotions. Like, I mean, how are you feeling about just like your last year going, you know, playing football with that jersey?
You know, I just had that position switch last year, but I think we have a lot of leaders on the team, a lot of seniors, and I think we're gonna have a big year.
Yeah, because what did you play before?
I played left tackle before, and then I switched to tight end.
And that was last year, right?
My sophomore year.
Sophomore.
After that, I switched to tight end.
Did it feel better for you? Like a better fit for you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Was it a kind of a rough transition, or?
At first, kind of. Yeah, it was a rough transition, but I think I got the hang of it.
You feel a lot more confident about it.
Yeah.
That confidence kind of build over time, like just with the reps.
Yeah, with the reps and every game, I felt more comfortable in that position and my steps and trusting my hands.
Let's talk about the senior class a bit. What's special or unique about this class?
We have 5 or 6 seniors, and you know, we get after each other in the weight room. You know, we try to stay on each other about that, and just everybody coming in every day and working hard.
Yeah. So it's a small, tight-knit group, but obviously you guys are the leaders on this team. So when camp starts, like, what's the message you want to send to like some of the younger players?
We just want to let them know to like keep showing up. You know, presence is key. Work hard, stay in the weight room.
What are some of the goals you have for this senior year? Obviously, you're coming off that appearance in the Class 1 title game, so I'm sure like you guys want to go back there, right? Is there any other goals you guys are working on?
One of the main goals is to just make it to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You know, win games, really. Be better than we were yesterday.
Yeah. What's the legacy you hope you leave behind at?
You know, I just want to win games and be a great football player at Galax High School.
That's nice. How do you feel going into your final year?
I feel good. The emotions, obviously, you know, it's kind of sad to know that you're going into your last year, but other than that, I'm definitely excited.
I mean, let's talk about those emotions. We'll start there. Just how do you put into words like what this football experience has been like for you so far?
It's been great. I feel like it's really shaped me as a person, and like, I don't know, I just really love the sport, and just the emotions of like knowing that probably won't see most of these guys anymore after this year.
You feel like you got a lot more mature?
Yeah, definitely. It has made me more mature, yeah.
How do you describe the kid that like suited up in your freshman year compared
Oh
to
yeah, I was terrified. Like I didn't even want to go out there. Like even going out there for like scrub minutes, the last couple minutes of the game, I was scared. But now all I want to do is be out there.
So where did that confidence come from?
I think just playing more and getting more reps in practice.
Well, you guys got a lot of reps last year because you played so many games.
Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself and the team, just even from that whole experience of getting to the state final?
I was really proud of us. I mean, I hate the way it ended, but I think we had a great year, and it was sad to win the way we did, but I was pretty happy with it other than that.
Is there anything from last year that has proven to be like a strength for you guys that you guys can build off of going into next year?
I think we started kind of switching things up on offense a little bit, running Wildcat, and teams didn't really expect that and didn't know what to do to stop it. So I think switching things up could be a good thing for us, yeah.
What's unique about Galax football that you don't really see from anyone else?
I think a lot of schools around where we are don't really lift as hard as we do and don't stay in the weight room as much as we do, like lifting 5 days a week.
Yeah, you guys felt like you've gotten stronger going into it. Going into your senior year, you mentioned some of the emotions. How do you control some of those emotions, especially as everything's like your last first this and
Yeah.
your last first that.
I'm just gonna try my best to just enjoy it as much as I can and soak in every moment.
You as a football player, so how did you fall in love with the sport of football?
Just watching it, watching like OBJ and all that stuff, always made me want to play wide receiver.
Is he like kind of your favorite player from the time you've been watching him?
Probably him or Calvin Johnson.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He was on my fantasy team like a couple
Yeah.
times there. Any specific games or moments that kind of stick out to you, or is it just like a lot of YouTube videos?
Just mostly just watching his highlights and
Oh,
stuff.
nice. Yeah, and like, what was it about the sport that kind of kept you in it? Because it's one thing to starting to do it, but like
Right.
there must be a reason why you kept doing it.
Well, I didn't start playing until 7th grade, and I was on a rec league team with him actually, and we didn't lose a game that year, and I got to play quarterback, and it was really my first time playing football other than flag football.
Yeah.
So it was just a brand new experience, and I really loved it, and I knew I wanted to keep doing it.
So you guys have been playing football for a while. What has that friendship meant to you? Just to obviously, it's better to go through this whole journey with someone, right?
Right, yeah, I've known him since I was a baby, so it's been kind of cool to just grow up with him and play sports with him my whole life.
Okay, so what's something about him that like he wouldn't tell me?
He's a softie.
So, is there an example there, or just like?
Oh no, it's just he's big, but
Oh, gotcha.
he's a nice guy.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, like a teddy bear or something.
Yeah, big old teddy bear.
So, what goals do you guys have going into this final year? And obviously, you guys are coming off appearing in the state title game, so I assume you guys want to go.
Yeah, we want to win a lot of games, and we want to just take it week by week, but hopefully make it back there if we can.
What would it mean to you to not only go back there, but to win it all?
Oh, my senior year will be great because, just I've been there twice and lost twice my freshman year and my sophomore year, so it would really mean a lot to win it my final year.
What do you think it's going to take for you guys to do that?
Just a lot of hard work, people practicing every day and watching the film and really hitting the weight room.
And take me into what it's like to put on that jersey and to run out onto the field. I mean, just like, what's that feeling like?
It's just a great feeling. There's a lot of great Galax football players, and I feel like I want to keep the legacy going every time I step on the field.
Yeah, well, speaking about legacy, like, what's the legacy you want to leave behind here no matter what happens?
Just want people to think I was a hard worker and that I gave it all I had.
All right, cool. I got nothing else. So.
Okay.